just watched this. Warm Bodies. Cute movie. My mom refused to watch it with me because it had. We were at the grocery store. I was getting it from Redbox, and I said, "Are you gonna watch it with me?" She's like, "Well, I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, you know, there's gonna be zombies eating people," and she doesn't want to see that. I'm like, "Well, Mom, I can't decide for you. You have to choose. Is it worth the love and the comedy in the movie? Is that worth watching the zombies eat the people? You know, you can turn away or whatever when that comes on." But she decided, she opted out of watching it with me. What I am about to say, see, they're picking up my toenails, I should cut them. What I'm about to say, not the least bit politically correct, I'm sure. Also, in the Christian world, what I'm about to say would be, I'm sure, like, considered blasphemous or whatnot. I don't really know, but anyway, since when do I ever censor anything I say? I don't. I feel that truth is truth, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much you don't want it to be true, no matter the degree to which other people will hate you for speaking your truth. So here's the truth. It's meaningless to say it, you know. But if I had a choice between, like I said, truth is truth regardless of how it makes someone else feel, okay? And this is the truth. I mean, I've periodically 100% stated that I wished I were Omar. You know, I wish I was Omar. I wish I were Omar. I wish I was Omar. I say was or were with wish, I forget. But just because he's content, he doesn't have to think about anything. He's not tormented, and he's just loved. I wish I was Omar. I've said it before. Even before there was an Omar, I've said it about other animals, whatever, you know. You can say whatever. It's never going to make it so. So let me tell you the truth. If I had a choice between living the life my aunt lived and dying like she's dying right now in her 60s, or living my life and living to be 100, in a heartbeat, I would choose my aunt's life. Okay? Now, would I say that about X, Y, Z celebrity? No. No. Because my gut instinct tells me that a lot of celebrities are probably just as tormented as I've been my entire life, okay? Will I say it about my aunt? Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. I'm not saying anybody's life is perfect, but she is fucking being eaten alive by this disease. She's gonna die soon. Even she knows it. She says she hopes to live to July 4th, you know. She's being eaten alive by this disease, and has been now for over a year, slowly, okay? And she still praises God. She's completely at peace. She's not afraid to die. She believes she's going to be with her Lord and Savior forever. You think I don't envy that? Okay? I said nobody's life is perfect, but I'll tell you something. I know You know, sometimes people's life is a facade. This is the real thing. I know that it is. It's just, she herself will say to you, she's been blessed. She was blessed. Mental illness escaped her. It didn't escape 3 of her sisters. Okay? My mother included. Okay? One sister just completely gone. I mean, gone in the head. My mother and another sister with abusive men, you know, whatever. My aunt has been with the same guy since she was practically a kid, since she was a teenager. Same guy, okay? They have stayed together. They're just one of those rare, like I said, nobody's life is perfect, but she has tons and tons of friends, tons and tons of family. She has that peace that eludes, 100% eludes non-believers such as myself, okay? And what the believers don't quote-unquote get is that we non-believers are not just being stubborn. We cannot force ourselves to believe what you believe and have that kind of peace, okay? It was expressed in that movie I just saw with Kate Hudson when she's dying of cancer, and I'm sorry, I forget the name of it. It was a cute little movie. She said it there. She says, I envy them. A lot of non-believers envy the believers because they're at peace. Again, let me stress, Auntie is being eaten alive by this horrible disease. She still praises both in word, on the internet, on whatever, in person, praises her Lord. It's His will. I mean, she had hoped He would cure her. He didn't. It's His will that she be with Him. She's completely at peace, okay? She's not afraid. She's completely at peace. She praises His glory in every sentence or whatnot, okay? And she's sincere. Juxtapose that with hell. I've lived through hell, but the hell I've lived through is nothing compared to the torment. I've been suicidal for as long as I can remember. I've been suicidal for, I mean, obviously I wasn't suicidal when I was a young kid, but I was just the type of suicidal that, you know, didn't act on it, didn't have it in me to act upon it, had it in me to engage in all sorts of self-destructive behavior as a way to feel more alive. Oh yeah, you name it. I mean, I tried it. Not really. I mean, have no desire to try coke or crack or heroin or whatnot. I can't, but you know what I mean. I engaged in a lot of self-destructive behavior. But yeah, I don't care if it's blasphemous or wrong to say what I wish. Like I said, but of course, lots of people can say that. I mean, there's lots of people's lives who I wouldn't say, oh, if I could trade, you know. But my aunt, so yeah, if I had a choice between living her life and dying right now, you know, being in my 60s and dying, or living to be 100 and living my life, no. I could be gone from this life in any split second because my mind torments me, okay? And someone wrote, I read it. Somebody wrote under one of my videos, you know, if you just walked into a Christian bookstore and said, I want peace, these people don't understand. They don't understand that it is impossible for people who think the way that I do to think any other way. We cannot force ourselves, okay? Now, do I believe in heaven and hell? No. Could I be wrong? Sure. I can't force myself to believe what I don't believe, though. And for all of us, there's only two choices. You either commit suicide or you live the life you're living. I mean, you live this existence. There's only two choices, okay? What I want is impossible, to have never existed, okay? That's not possible. Two choices. I've been saying it forever. Long before any of you guys knew me, okay? Long before YouTube even existed, since I'm in my 40s now. YouTube hasn't existed for very long, you guys. I've been saying, stuff along those lines. There's only two choices. Commit suicide or live the life that you were given, I can say whatever I want. Like I said, I wouldn't say it in regards to a celebrity. I wouldn't say, if I could have, pick one, Jessica, if I could have her life, but have to die at 50 versus my life and live to be, I wouldn't say anything like that about a celebrity or anything like that. But Matt, who's dying, oh yeah, she's so kind, so good. She is blessed with obscene number of friends and family who, who write wonderful things to her, and she, no matter what she's going through, she praises God, praises His glory. I think if I came down with cancer, I wouldn't even fight it. I wouldn't even have it in me to fight it. But I've not wanted to be here my entire life, practically, so to fight cancer, you have to really want to be alive, and I don't. I never have. I can't say it wouldn't be nice to find a guy who felt that way too, where we could just, comfort each other and try to help each other stay alive, Can't say that wouldn't be nice, but I was a basket case, broken, when Donald got his claws into me, got me in his clutches, lured me into his quote-unquote demesne. I learned that word through him for his tape, D-E-M-E-S-N-E, I was all broken before Donald got a hold of me. Now I'm like, I'm barely even here. And the thing with me is too, now I've always felt like a pawn, but now I feel like a pawn even more, because went through so much trauma, so much shit over these last 4 years that it's unbelievable I am still breathing, okay? It's beyond unbelievable that I'm still breathing, okay? And now I have money. You think that's not surreal? I don't have a little bit of money. I have, compared to a lot of people, a lot of money. I mean, I have like 14,000 in the bank and 1,000 coming in every month. That's a lot of money to somebody who just a few months ago, just 6-7 months ago, was penniless and living in a co-ed homeless shelter here in Massachusetts, okay? It's surreal. It's all surreal. And it just reinforces I'm a pawn. That's how I feel. That's how I felt for a long time, You see, in my world, anything's possible. And that's a scary world to be in, okay? Anything is possible. My aunt's at peace. She believes she's going to heaven to be with her Lord. It's we who she's leaving behind, or whose heart's breaking. Because she doesn't want to leave her family and her friends and whatnot, but she's accepted it, and she's not afraid, and my world, anything's possible. I know who David Icke is. Just like I told you before, I know who Alex Jones is. I know who David Icke is, too. Does that mean I, believe what he believes? No. That's not the point. The point is that in a lot of ways, it's almost like I'm a person from another planet. I've never fitted or belonged on this planet. I feel like I'm not even here most of the time. That's why I make no apologies for wanting to be touched by another person, because it gets me out of my head like nothing else. Just being touched by another living human being gets me out of my thoughts, gets me out of the torment, okay? But in my world, anything's possible. Like I said, that's a scary world, because I can't just write off David Icke as a nut job. I think, well, maybe there's some truth to what he believes, or maybe, But in the end, when it all boils down to it, if we take it apart in all its components, I really just want to experience what I experienced 5 weeks ago with that guy, who did all those relatively innocent things to me. And I want to experience even more than that, but I'm keeping this clean. And that's what I want. Because we're here. And the less arrogant among us, we have no fucking clue in the universe why we're here, okay? I don't know. My aunt's fucking dying of cancer, and I envy her, because she has always had the type of peace, inner peace, that I will never have. Every day is a struggle for me. I can sit here right now and tell you I don't know if someday I might commit suicide. No intention of doing it now, but they said about Anne Sexton that she saw everything, and she saw all of life, and since most of life is pain, she lived most of her life, most of her existence in pain, and she eventually succumbed, and she killed herself when she was 46, so she lasted a long time, relatively, compared to Sylvia, who killed herself when she was 30. Left behind 2 children and a husband and whatever, But when I say I want to be touched, I ache to be touched. I don't want or ache to be touched by just anybody. Because I used to do that, like I said. I would never go back to doing that again. It's empty, it's not satisfying, it's just not worth it. Not worth the risk of, could get killed, could get worse than killed, could catch some, it's not worth it. Not worth it. because I've been burned so badly. I mean, come on, I thought Donald was my soulmate. 100% believed it. And I gravitated towards him because he wasn't quote-unquote too good. He had darkness in him, like I most definitely do. You do not watch your own mother go crazy in front of your eyes when you are just a little 10-year-old girl and have your mom doing all kinds of crazy things, including telling you, who believes her 100%, that God is going to kill her, and later when God didn't kill her, telling you that the family, your uncles, are going to slaughter all the people you love, your aunts and your cousins, okay? You do not go through that, and that's just a smidgen of what I've gone through in life, okay? And then wind up with no darkness in your heart, okay? I have darkness in me, and so did Donald. But he, unfortunately for me, didn't have enough light in him to balance out the darkness. Okay? My life's a constant struggle just to continue breathing. It's been like this forever. 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 I wish I could find a guy who felt the same as someone I was attracted to, and who was really, really, really into sex and not the kind of, 10 minutes and you're done bullshit, kind of ongoing, everyday, continuous sensuality and making his woman feel desirable all the time and whatnot, like I said, I'm all fucked up inside, so I can fantasize about having this or wish for it or imagine it and not believe in a million years that I'll ever actually find it. But I made my body look really hot again, so like I said, I can have, little bits and pieces of whatever. I intend to be very selective. Very selective. I don't care. I don't care if these guys call me picky or whatever, Don't care. Don't care because I don't want to be here. I am an abomination. It's like my poem. Don't want it, don't respect it, let me out quick as you can. I'm an insult to myself, the worst imposter of man. Wearing the wrong clothes, only the emperor knows. I try not to hear those voices, will myself to make the right choices. But I've tasted the moldy bread, let the wine go to my head. Racing against time in a body that isn't mine, running down the track so I can get to the finish line and give it back.